Hi guys, this is Daniel Alexander Cannon here on the Supernatural Show. Once again, back at it. Keeping this 3-day-a-week schedule to try to bring y'all guys more ability to see the truth and speak the truth. And speaking of truth, today is an open panel show. So you can go down below the video if you like. Click on it. It will make you authenticate through YouTube or Facebook. Here in the near future, we're going to have another way to kind of do this where you won't have to log into YouTube because, as I know from yesterday, half of you guys basically don't log in. So I don't want to leave y'all guys out. So we're going to work out a way to do that. But for today, it's going to be people who can or who do log into YouTube or into Facebook. And so when you click the link below the video, it will bring you into the studio. You just put your name, whatever you want us to call you, and turn your camera off. Okay. And while we're letting everyone join here, I'm going to play a video. Some of you might have seen it before, but it's more of an interlude type video. And come back, and then I'll introduce Roxy, who's here with us today, and give y'all guys a minute or two to get into the studio as well. So again, all you got to do is go below the video where it says more if you're on YouTube. Maybe on Facebook as well. It might, well, either way, it's in the chat as well. Let me copy the link right now, and I'll throw it into the chat so that y'all guys can have that. And it will go to Facebook as well. Yep, posted to Facebook as well. So you got it there on Facebook. You can join. If you're on the Supernatural Show, you can join. If you're on LogicBeforeAuthority, you can join. And just come on in, turn your camera off. You can leave your camera off. I will not put you on stage with your camera on unless I know you. Okay? And I see y'all guys commenting here. And we're going to watch this interlude video real quick. It has really a lot to do with the things we're going to be talking about. You know, we talk about the supernatural things, the things that people are generally afraid to talk about. Got somebody that's already remembering something about that pill back in elementary school. We're going to be talking about some stuff about the Gateway program. Operation Gateway, which they did on all of us as children back in the 70s, basically mid-70s. I don't know how long they were doing it or how long they kept doing it, to be honest with you. And hello to you, Dragonfly from Oklahoma City. And I see our awesome moderator, Mike Smith, is in the house as well. Hello to you too, my brother. And hello, Paul. Welcome here. Now we're going to have a little interlude watch here while we're waiting on everybody to get here, and let y'all guys go through the process. If you want to join us on the stage, go ahead and come on in. And like I say, just turn your camera off. And unless I know you, I'm not going to allow you on stage with your camera on, because I don't want any donkeys showing up here trying to ruin the show. So with that being said, let's see here. Where is my interlude? There it is. There it is. And this will go on for about 5 minutes, but it's pretty cool, pretty interesting. I like it. I did it. Check it out.
It's a twister. It's a twister.
I imagine right now you're feeling a bit like Dorothy, landing in Oz in a realm that just does not feel quite like home. I can see it in your eyes. You have the look of a man who does not accept what he sees, because he suspects everything his eyes present to him is a lie. Ironically, this is very close to the truth. Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know, you cannot explain. but you can feel it. You have felt it your entire life that something is wrong with this world that has been presented to you with the full expectation that you accept it and never question it. You don't know completely what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind driving you mad. It is this feeling that brought you here to me, to now, to a choice. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you want to know what it is? It is the supernatural image and word of God. It is all around us right now, even in your very room where you are sitting at this moment. You can see it when you peer into the mirror at your own reflection, or when you take a photo of a friend. You can feel it when the sun shines, or when a wave in the sea crashes upon you. You can taste it when you bite into an apple, and see it when you tear open a fruit. You can feel it when you caress a woman, or when a woman caresses you. And you can see it upon the woman's body, the breasts, the buttocks, and eyes alike. It is there when you speak or when you take a breath. You can hear it when the great owl screeches, or see it written upon his face. You can see it coming when a whirlwind is nearly upon you, and hear it when the thunder rolls. And you can feel it when the wind blows. It is the world that exists beyond the veil. It must be perceived with the mind before the eye can see it. A world that no one ever informed you of, yet you know it's there. If you speak of it, others will say you're crazy, for you must believe what they believe. Like everyone else, you were born and introduced and convinced of a false reality, a false world, a prison world designed so that you would not see, hear, smell, taste, or touch the supernatural reality of the true world. They built a prison for your mind and a hell for your soul, and they pray to their gods that you will never wake up. Unfortunately, no one can be shown what the supernatural world is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there's no turning back. You hit the back button, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you believed before this moment. Or you continue watching and you cross beyond the veil. And I will show you what is behind the wizard's curtain. Remember, all I am offering you is the truth. Nothing more, nothing less. It is now time to choose. Go back now, or continue beyond the veil.
And of course, beyond the veil is a big concept of what this show is about. of supernatural things that come beyond the veil, like angels. When they come in, they produce a spark. There's a spark, and then they'll appear like less than a half a second after it goes spark, poof, and they show up. I've seen it, and I've documented it in my documentary that is on this channel, I believe, and on Rumble, on YouTube. It's out there. If you haven't seen it yet, it is on here. Y'all guys are welcome to join. This is an open panel show today, and all you have to do is click on the link that you'll see down below the video, and you can join me and Roxy here in the studio. Shannon is trying to show up here shortly as well, my co-host. She had an appointment this morning that she had to go to, so she wasn't able, unfortunately, to be here right now, but she'll be here shortly, hopefully, if she gets home in time and all that kind of good stuff. So, guys, you guys are always welcome to text and send me pictures or stories of supernatural happenings in your life. If you've got a story, you can submit it via text. You can also go on the website, and the website has a place where you can submit that as well. I'll show it to you real quick. If you come to the website and you click on submit a story, it's right up here in the menu, of course, submit a story, and it'll bring you to a page where you can plug in a little information, answer a question or two, and type out your story right here. Okay. You can even upload a video file if you wanted to, along with your story, or you can enter in a URL address as well, if it's related to your story. So feel free to use the website, or if it's easier for you for some reason, you can use the phone number that I've given you here. Okay. Today, guys, I'm here with Roxy at the moment, and what we're going to be talking about is, well, we can talk about anything. So you guys can come up, join the show, click on the link that's down below the video on YouTube, or click on the link that I put in the comments, which I can do again for you. Let me do that again real quick since it's been a little while. Here we go. Copy and comments, and here it goes. That is the link that will bring in. Okay. And I see all y'all guys here in the chat. So again, feel free to join us. The conversation is, me and Roxy are going to start out talking about Project Gateway that took place for sure back in the 70s, going into the early 80s. And they were going into the elementary schools as one part of the project they were doing. And we're going to be discussing that, but we can discuss other things as well. Okay. So with that being said, Roxy.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for being here.
Glad to be here. Hope everybody's having a good afternoon wherever you may be.
You want to tell us a little bit about your memory of the Gateway program back in school?
Well, when I was younger in elementary school back in the 80s, I was selected to be a part of a gifted and talented educational program. GATE is what they called it. My school actually called it Pelican. 1 day a week, every week, 2nd through 5th grade, me and a few select other students got put on a bus, and we were bused to an annex building where the county held the gifted and talented education classes. Really hadn't thought anything about it, too much until I was older as an adult and ran into some other people on TikTok, and they're like, "Do you remember what you did?" I don't. And you would have thought as a child, if you had been special, a gifted, smart kid, you would have felt special. You would have remembered something about this class that you went to once a week. And at the time, my best friend, who was like my sister, went with me to every class. She doesn't remember anything either. I've actually talked to quite a few other kids who were in the program with us. None of them remember. We don't really remember anything. We do know what building they took us to. We remember getting there. And when you walked in the door, you got a little cup of liquid, which I think, to the best of my memory, serves me that we were told it was like fluoride. Because back then, the dentist would come to the school and they'd give you a toothbrush. And we were just kind of told it was like mouthwash. Swish your mouth out and, spit it out, go on about your day. We don't remember anything.
Um,
And out of 4
real,
years of
real,
classes, I
Roxy,
can probably remember 3 hours of it.
Roxy,
Yeah.
real quick, I just want to make notice of that someone has joined us below the show. An average Joe. We're going to let Roxy finish a little bit of this, and then I'll bring you up on stage. So if you've got a few minutes, just hang out there, and once Roxy kind of finishes explaining what she remembers, we'll bring you up, and you can talk about that as well, or we can talk about something else. So, okay, so please hang out with us, an average Joe. I can see you down there, my brother. All right, go ahead, Roxy. Sorry about that.
Well, I've had a lot of conversations with a few kids that I've found that went to my elementary school and went to the class with me. And so then I started digging down a rabbit hole. Well, why don't I remember? I ran up across a group on TikTok of some other kids from all across the country who went to this class and have the same thing. They don't remember anything. And like I said, out of, once a week for 4 years of school, I may remember 2 to 3 hours of actual class time. And that was like 2 little particular projects that we did. Most of the stuff we did in class, I found out now, was code breaking. They had us reading Russian. They were trying to get us to remote view. There is an actual sound. They used to put these headphones on us, and it was like this audio file, and it would tell you, do you hear it in your right ear? Do you hear it in your left ear? And you can actually listen to that on the internet now, and that's called the gateway process. And it is for remote viewing, astral projection, out of body experiences, all kinds of things of that nature. And so then the question becomes, why were you playing this for a 9-year-old that you were possibly drugging with God knows what when we went into class and hypnotizing us not to remember it? I didn't associate an episode I had until some right here recently in the 4th grade. I went on Thursdays. Well, I started having these anxiety attacks on Friday in class. And of course, I'm feeling kind of weird and sweating, and they take you down to the nurse's office. And, then they call my mom, and my mom takes me to a doctor. I remember going to a doctor, couldn't tell you what kind of doctor it was. The only thing I can remember was that when I got there, me and my mom drove for a while to get wherever it was. They took this like little sandpaper stuff, and it felt like they had dug the skin off the top of my scalp. They did it so hard, and they put this like cranial cap with these leads on it. And I remember asking, me questions. My mom was in the lobby, and I was kind of scared. I don't remember anything else about that except stopping for ice cream on the way home. When these anxiety attacks would happen, they would come on all of a sudden. I could hear every classmate I had breathing. I could hear their heartbeat. It felt like I could hear insects walking across the floor. They tried to play it off that it was anxiety attacks. You're a kid, you move on. It's not an important thing. Well, as I've become an adult and I've started putting all these pieces together, I went back down the rabbit hole. I wanted to know what this was they put us through, because evidently something happened. If you got enough kids, thousands of us all across the nation, who went to a particular type of class and none of us remember, something wasn't kosher about that. So with a little bit of investigative research, this started back in the 1920s. It wasn't in the 70s. It was in the 1920s. The CIA has released documents, as they do ever so often, and you can track it back to the 1920s and 30s, pre-World War II, where they had discovered that the Russians and the Chinese were trying to use and train telepathic warriors. They wanted to find people who had telepathic abilities to go and spy on the enemy, basically remote viewing. And that there were some things that we did in that class. They would seal things in an envelope and ask you if you could tell what was in the envelope. And it's been a long rabbit hole, and it still goes on.
I remember them showing me. I hadn't remembered it until you brought it up, and then it, I had these little flashbacks where I remembered the drinking the liquid, and there was a little pill involved at some other point in time, and I remember them showing me like little, what you might call it, little like flashcards. Ask me what I could see in the flashcards. It was nothing exactly, but it was like, I think it was
the
like
ink blot test. Yeah,
like ink blot, that kind of stuff. Exactly. I'm going to go ahead and thank you, Super Dave. I greatly appreciate it. I also appreciate you being a moderator, brother. Appreciate you very much. I'd love to have you on the show sometime as well. So you're welcome to join right now if you'd like. We're going to bring our first guest onto the panel here with us, Unaverage Joe. And Unaverage Joe, please leave your camera turned off. You can turn your mic on whenever you want to speak. And then when you're just listening, just turn your mic back off. Okay. So let's bring Unaverage Joe on here with us. And you're welcome to just listen a little bit, or you're welcome to
All right.
join in if
Yeah.
you like.
Just wanted to share my experience with a sighting that I had in 2020.
A sighting?
A sighting, yeah. Actually, it was in 2022. And this is the one that really compelled me to make a report with MUFON.
Okay.
But in my gut, I know what I saw was some kind of technology. Okay.
Okay.
I know without a doubt. I mean, I was kind of planning to draw out what I experienced with with the camera on, but I understand your apprehension with that, because I've come across other lives, and some people do some crazy stuff, man.
Right.
And it's not cool. But I understand you, but I'll do my best to try to explain it the best I can.
What, do you have video of it or something? What are you saying?
No, but I just wanted to draw exactly what I experienced. I mean, because it's really bizarre.
Good. I'm going to take you off the stage for a second, but I'll still be able to see you down below, and you'll still be able to hear me. When you're off the stage, turn your camera on and let me see you, and kind of show me what you're trying to do off the stage, and then I might bring you up. Okay. If not,
Sure.
worst case, I'll still bring you back up. I'll just ask you to turn your camera back off. Okay.
You got it.
All right. So go ahead. So go ahead and turn your camera on, Unaverage Joe, and we'll go from there. Because I don't like the whole no camera thing, to be honest with y'all guys, but you kind of have to. And he's trying to turn his camera on. He's having a little bit of a hard time. I just don't want a donkey to show up on here. And one day here, I'm going to tell you what the donkeys are and to tell you the donkey story. I may do it here in a little bit as well. Unaverage Joe is still trying to turn his camera on there. While he's doing that, I think I'm going to show, because he's talking about a sighting that he had. And I've got a couple of new videos. One I'm going to share with y'all guys right now that I just found today, and I haven't released it yet. So we'll take a look at that while Unaverage Joe is trying to get his camera working. So
nope, we lost him somehow.
Yeah, I think you'll be back. So, but let's take a look at this. This is a video that I found off of TikTok, where I zoom in on it. You'll see. Here we go. And I can't say for sure what we're seeing, but we're going to take a look at it. And I see a lot of things out there, but I don't bring them forth, because if I think for a second that it's AI, I just ain't going to mess with it. because I do not want to bring fake stuff on here. I could make the mistake and that happen, but I don't want to. And an average Joe is still trying to get his camera going. I can see, but let's take a look at this video.
The hell? It's like a freaking battle. Whoa. Welcome to Las Vegas.
So yeah, that was filmed in Las Vegas recently, and there's actually a second video, but I don't have it prepared yet, of another person from another angle that filmed the same thing.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's pretty wild, ain't it? Yeah, but yeah, I filmed the same thing from a totally different angle, because at first I was like, is this possibly AI, or is this? But then I went and found it. Somebody else filmed it from another angle, a little bit further away, and I'm like, okay, that gives it a little bit of credibility in my mind. So, Max, I see that our brother Max has joined us as well. Give me 1 second, guys. Oh. How do you flip the camera to the front? An average Joe, I believe, is asking. And you can, but it is a little tricky. You could also just turn your camera around, but you just wouldn't be able to see us, but we'd be able to see whatever you were pointing your camera at, if that makes sense to you. So you can just use your front camera. Showing off, Roxy. Looks like I'm watching what an average Joe is doing. He's got a piece of paper. Can I see your face, an average Joe? Turn the camera to your face. Okay. All right, cool. All right, we're going to put an average Joe on the stage here. I'm going to trust you, an average Joe. So yeah, you're on stage, an average Joe, and you can go ahead and tell us about
Sure.
what.
So, okay, so being it's an open panel, I got two things to mention. First, this sighting, and then second, something that I just want to bring awareness to other people about.
Okay.
But first off, here's what I experienced in 2022. I was facing west. The sun had already set it. It was approximately about 9:20 around there. And what I noticed that stood out to me the most was there was a formation of stars that kind of made basically a triangle in the sky. And the camera's flipped, huh? The mirroring. So if I go left, it goes right.
Oh boy.
That's a little awkward. Anyways, I'll do my best. So I was just fixated.
If you click on settings, if you can see your settings button.
Okay, settings, camera. Yeah. Oh yeah, mirror. Turn off the mirroring. Okay, perfect.
There you go.
You got it. You got it. Okay, yeah, we're good. We're good. Let me turn off my kettle real quick. I'm sorry. So, okay, sorry about that interruption.
Yeah, no problem.
Here's what I experienced. So, as I'm facing, in the west direction, and I see, this formation of stars, just completely out of the blue. This blue light starts from like around in this vicinity. And have you ever seen the movie, or not the movie, but the series Knight Rider with Kit?
Yep.
Okay, so all that the light pulsates right on the front.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's the same motion here, man. The light was like pulsating just like that upwards, just shy of getting to where like the first top star was. It
Okay.
would disappear, and then it would redo it again.
Oh
It did
my.
it. It did it 6 times. Now
Oh,
the seventh time, it was a little red orb, and then it did it one more time, and it was another little red orb. Okay.
uh-huh.
Now at this point, these two little red orbs were just flying from west to east. Now here's what I want to notate about this. When they were both and okay, they were like this eerie glowing red color. Okay, so I do want to point that out. It was like an eerie red color to them. Completely silent. Everything was silent. As it went again from west to east, as they were flying over me, directly over me, one of them just completely disappeared. It just vanished. The other orb just kept going due east.
So
Not even
what happened
not
to the triangle ones? What happened to those while you seen those?
so actually, so that was an actual constellation. The triangle lights that I was seeing were actually a constellation from stars.
Okay.
So that was fixed in the sky. That was no TR3B or anything like that. That was just fixed in the sky. What appeared was just what I described here in the middle.
Let me
So
ask
weird.
you a question.
Okay, but real quick, let me just finish the story.
Okay.
Once they went over me, and like I said, one of them disappeared. The other one kept going east. Well, not even a second or two after it got shortly out of view. A jet from the west, from exactly like in the vicinity where they appeared, just came out of there, flying straight full force, chasing that orb. And I know it had to have been military because of the way it sounded.
Yeah. And approximately when was this? Oops. I think he pushed the wrong button there or something.
I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I just stopped the cam. So yeah, this was like around May of 2022.
May of 2022. Okay. All right. Um, when you said that the lights were pulsating up, as they pulsated up, was it like they were counting off one behind the next? Like the first one would appear, and as it went out, the second one would appear, and then as it went out, the third one would appear in that straight line.
I wouldn't say
Or they all
let me jog my memory. The best I can remember, dude, is not. I didn't see like two lights on at once. It was only just a straight upwards pulsation, just like
one at a time.
Kit, like the light from Kit.
Okay. All right. Well, just so you're aware, I've seen that with my own eyes probably about 5 times, if not more. So I know what you're talking about. What you've seen was angels, in my opinion, based on what you described so far. You were watching interdimensional beings, which the word that I use, other people may use a different word. But the word I use, I mean, put it this way, not aliens from another planet somewhere on a fake world that they want us to believe. I would say, this is just my opinion. You can even disagree, and that's okay. We can still be friends. But from my experience, because I don't know how many shows you've seen and what you know about my experiences with what I call angels, but it's vast. It's a large number of times up close and personal. And I've seen them. Even Miss Kim has seen them and count off in that straight line, haven't you, Donna?
Yep.
Yeah. So I took her to the beach one night with her daughter, and I said, let's go see the angels. And so we went down there, and we're standing on the shore in front of the water, and the waves are rolling up. And we were there not that long, probably about 15, 20 minutes. And all of a sudden, they started. One lit up, and as it went bloop, 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 in that pulsating line, just like you're saying, like Kit from that movie. Yeah, it was very much like that, except for they were bright white and round. Were yours bright white, or were they a different color? I think did you say red?
Yeah, the orbs were like a eerie orangey red color.
Okay. I've seen them that color as well. Most of the time I've seen them, they've been white, but you can see because they're energy rotating inside of a toroidal field. Okay. And Ezekiel described it as a wheel inside of a wheel. Okay. Because if you look at a lot of these videos that people are catching over them and stuff, it'll look like a donut. It's like a little wheel inside of a bigger wheel. And if you get a really good photo or video, you can see that the center of it looks like the pupil of the eye. And the white part on the outside of it is like our iris. And of course, the background that I use here on the show is the sun. It's called a full solar halo. And I'm going to Google that up so I can show you. Actually, I've got a perfect one. I don't need to Google it up. I just need to pull the file up. Here we go. Because the way God, it seems like he created things is he created them in fractal repeating images, image of, similar to, kind of like, that kind of thing. And so let's see, here we go. Let me grab this one down here. Where's it at? It's literally the background for my show, but here's the one I want to show you. Let me open it up. Put it up here. Let me share this with y'all guys. Okay, here we go. Let me share it. Okay. Now, see, this is an actual real photo. Actually, it came out of a video. This one actually was a photo. I have a video of them as well. Of this, it's on a ski resort, and the guy pans backwards and forth and looks at it. Under the right conditions, when you have enough of prismatic snowflakes in the sky or ice crystals in the sky, you end up being able to see this, which is, you can see it has an eyelid. What it is, as the sun comes up, this eyelid, when it first starts to come across the horizon, if it's clear and you see this lid will be further down towards the pupil. Okay. And then as the sun is rising, the eyelid will open up, and it will continue to open until it's all the way open. And so, and there's also a bottom eyelid, which you can't see well in this photo, but there's a bottom eyelid as well. And then there's a large halo that runs all the way around it. And then you see this white line that runs from left to right and right to left. This white line, it's like almost like it runs. If you see this in the sky, if you turn 180 degrees all the way around, you'll be able to follow that white line. If the sky is clear enough and you have the right conditions, you'll be able to see this white line right here that comes right out of the corners. When people normally see these corners, they call them sundogs. Okay, where it's, and people will see them. They'll say, "Oh, look at that! There's another bright spot in the sky." That's the corner of the eyes. They're almost seeing a full solar halo, but this white line runs through that sundog, and it runs all the way around the horizon behind you, 360 degrees. I have the video footage of that as well. And so the reason why I bring that up is because the angel orbs look very much like this as well. And I think this is just how the creator created these things. With the angel orb, though, this entire thing you see here, the eye, the iris, and everything, the entity that is there, the whatever you want to call it, that is there, the angelic entity, is in the center of it. You can see how, like, this is, if I was to reverse the colors on this, the center would be darker, and this out here would be lighter. And if I reverse the image, the dark becomes light, light becomes dark. And we would see something that looked very much like what people get when they're looking at these orbs, not the drones, of course. And there's people out there taking videos of drones or airplanes, and they're getting the headlight off of it, and they're thinking that's an orb, and it's turning into a drone, because then all of a sudden it turns and you can see the flashing lights. So you got to be careful. You can get fooled by these things. I've been fooled by it. But yeah, I think what you're seeing, brother, or what sounds like, in my opinion, what you witnessed was something I've witnessed several times, which is what I call angels.
Mhm.
Now,
Well,
you said you've seen two different. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
no, yeah, you're good. You're good. Well, this isn't specifically the second thing I wanted to mention or topic. But just going again off of sightings, there is something else that I have experienced, and it happens to me every so often. When I'll be scanning the night sky, there's times that I just acknowledge a certain light in the sky, and for whatever reason, I'll fixate on that light for just a couple seconds or two, and then at that very moment, the light will just it'll like glow, have like a really big glow up, and then it just vanishes. It's gone.
Does it light up the ground?
No, 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 not that bright. It'll just light up inside the sky, like basically like a little how would I describe that? It's not extremely bright. It's just that you can see that this light it looks like a star. It's really far up there. It's just looking like when it like when a star twinkles and it kind of gets bright for a second.
Uh huh.
It's kind of like that, except this light will kind of get bright and the brightness stays for a couple seconds or two, and then it just slowly fades out and it's gone.
Right.
The light's just gone.
I've got a
But
video.
it only happens like after I acknowledge it.
Uh huh. Well, I've got a video related to kind of what you're talking about there that I'll show here in just a moment. Um, these orbs, they come in all different sizes, and I don't have a complete understanding about all the different sizes, because the high majority of all the ones I've seen have been as big as a Volkswagen, or that's the appearance in the sky. In front of me, they normally appear. They don't. For me, I've seen them all up in the sky and everything, but normally when I go to the beach to look for them, I'll be standing on the sand and the waves are turning in front of me, and right behind the waves, say 30 to 50 yards in front of me, that's pretty close, a Volkswagen sized light will show up, and it's round, and you can see the energy rolling in it, and you'll see purples, and you'll see some reds. Sometimes you'll see every color in the rainbow, literally. But the major color is white. And of course, pure white light has all of the colors in the rainbow within it. If you know anything about LED lights, you can take a red, blue, and green LED light, turn them off all at the same time, and what you get, or what you perceive, is white, because white is made up of all of the colors in the rainbow. And so yeah. Anyways, let's watch this real quick. Pretty interesting. It's this lady who runs across a little small orb. A few of you probably seen this video, but it's good conversation material, and it may be related to what you've seen as well. Which sounds like you were almost acknowledging, or almost like communicating with this orb. Is that kind of what you're saying on average, Joe?
Like not in the sense that I'm having an interaction with it, but it's like I acknowledge its presence there, and then when I do, that's when it decides to disappear.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the angels that I've seen, just so you know, that they typically don't hang around where I can see them very long. It's not like they're there for 10 minutes. I don't think I've ever seen one last over. Normally, they're like less than 10 seconds, mostly less than 25 seconds. Occasionally, maybe I've seen one that lasted for a minute or two. But let's check this video out. Thank you. Y'all guys will enjoy this.
So I'm at the store getting gas, and guess who I noticed?
Sorry, we're going to watch that. I just realized, because when I watched this before, for some reason I had the impression that this orb was underneath the canopy of the gas station. It's not. It's higher up than that. So this orb is not as small as I was thinking. Huh. Okay, so let's keep going.
So I'm at the store getting gas, and guess who I noticed? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Blink if you can hear me. Okay, go back right. Go back down. Okay, brighten up if you can hear me. Okay, go back normal. You want to stay bright, huh? Are you an angel? Are you here to hurt anybody? Are you part of our galactic family? Am I tripping? Or is this thing responding to me, y'all? Are you a fallen angel? Are you one of the good angels? Okay, go back normal. You can dim your light. It's answering me. Are you my specific angel? Okay, so the people that are seeing these, are those their specific angels or guardians? Okay, y'all have seen it here firsthand. All right, you can go back normal again. Wow, thank you for talking to me. I love you. Thank you.
So isn't that interesting? You know? So anybody could say that this is not going on. Roxy, what do you think about that?
Well, I've seen them, and I've communicated with them because you've seen my videos.
I have.
You do not have to speak verbally to them. You can communicate with them telepathically. And you can ask them to, just like she did, prove themselves that you're not crazy, that you are seeing what you're seeing. I actually have 2 videos. I seem to have one on quite the regular basis.
Yeah.
I can't answer exactly what I know they are. I don't think, I think they're good. I don't feel anything bad from them, but I have seen them. The first time I saw them at the beach with you back in 2019, I think. And then I hadn't paid it any attention until, they became, everybody started seeing them. And then I started looking. And now if I look, the one I see is generally in the same area about the same time of night. And I can get it to communicate. I have actually got mine to move left, right, up, down, things of that nature.
Yeah, and I've had them show me and I know some of y'all guys have heard the stories and stuff, but I've had them show me what I call attributes, meaning things that they can do and normally do, which I think is important to know because I believe I believe mankind has built some devices, man-made devices that will emulate, because that's how the dark side works, is they copy things.
Absolutely.
That's all they have the ability to do is observe something extremely well and then figure it out and copy it. This is how they created everything, even the internet. I mean, like airplanes, how did they get that idea? Maybe it came from birds. You reckon? Or you can come up with basically anything that they've made that's available, you know, and you'll find out that ultimately it's reverse engineering of nature is what it is. It's not reverse engineering of some fake alien thing. The only reason anyone here even knows the word alien or the concept of something coming from another planet is television. You know, with that programming they do and the
Oh yeah.
television. That's the only reason that we know about it. The third motion picture ever made, ever put out, was an alien movie. The third one. It was like 1903. And it was about aliens on the moon. They shot a rocket ship, went to the moon, landed on it, got out, and there were aliens there that attacked them. And then they got back in the rocket ship and left and came back to Earth, right? You know, big time building in this fantasy world for people so that that's what they would believe. If you haven't figured out yet that the people that run this world are liars and deceivers, I don't know what you're doing here on this show, but I'm glad you found it, because everything I'm going to say today is going to sound like this dude's a nut. He's crazy. But unfortunately, I'm not a nut. I've been doing this work for about 15 years now. Let's see here.
Hey Daniel,
Well,
is there a chance I could mention that
yeah,
other topic just to bring awareness to just people around?
go for it.
Okay, man. So I happen to be what's known as a targeted individual.
Huh?
In 2020, my life completely changed. Uh, Gang stalking entered my life, or should I say, that's when gang stalking became overt in my life. Like they made their presence known. Who is they? I don't know these people. I don't know what they are, what they want, but from the research I've done, it's appeared to me that I'm on a watch list. I don't know why I'm on a watch list. I'm not a terrorist. I have no ties to any of that stuff. Um, I can say some weird stuff as far as like the FB, you know who, actually came to my work to come and interview me to say that I was going to be an active pew pew, which is kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Like they had a report that I told somebody that I was gonna be an active pew pew, basically, and
Really?
which is so weird, so crazy. It's like they were setting me up in a weird kind of way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, I know I'm under surveillance. I've experienced weird things like my brake reservoir on my car being siphoned. Um, and all of this stuff began like around October 2020 for me personally. And I just wanted to bring awareness that, people, you're not crazy if you start experiencing a lot of weird activity around you. Like you're being followed, you're being, being traced, tracked, all that. Or if you even start hearing voices out of the blue, don't don't, how do I say this? Don't think that you're crazy or you're insane or anything, because I've experienced it myself, the V2K. It's really weird. It is real. Um, All I know is that we live in a very technologic world right now, and a lot of this technology is way more advanced than what the public is led to believe, and or should I say what is publicized. And I truly believe that us TIs could also even be the guinea pigs for some sort of uh, program that could be for keeping people in check, so to speak. People who don't want to fall in line, people who, practice the First Amendment, people who, are into conspiracy theories, quote unquote,
Mhm.
um, or even topics like this, what we're into, the UFO, the paranormal. I mean, they don't want you to have a free mind. They want you to think the way they want you to be, and they want you to be an observant. I'm sorry, a subservient sheep, basically. The system. Not trying to get off on a tangent here, but I'm not a part of wanting to be a part of the system, and maybe that's why I'm targeted, or it's because of the way I think, or because of the experiences I've had. I don't know, but I just know that gang stalking entered my life, and I am a targeted individual. If you want to, this ain't no plug for my channel, but if you want to just support me because of just moral support, that's cool. I would appreciate it. Give my channel a look and see for yourself the kind of weird stuff I experience. I just can't make it. I can't make this up. This reality is more
Is,
strange and
is your
deeper
channel
than we know.
name An Average Joe?
Yeah. It's an average Joe, exactly. And you'll see a picture of a flower. It's just an average Joe, and picture of a flower is my
Okay.
picture image.
Yep. I got you right here. Yep. I got you right here. Um, yeah, this is his channel, guys, right here. You wanna
I mean, I'm no threat to nobody. I'm a calm individual. I love nature. I don't know, why this entered my life. Just like a lot of other TIs will say too, this could be a revenge for hire program, or is something more. We don't know. Some people are speculating this could even be like they're siphoning people's energy, like it's like a loosh siphoning program. I don't know. There's so
yeah,
many speculations.
yeah. You mind if I try to maybe give you a couple pieces of advice?
Sure, I'm open.
Because I understand exactly what you're talking about. Okay. And I've been a targeted individual myself for a long time. Okay. And I see we got Facts in the house. We bring him on stage up right away. He's been here before, and I enjoyed conversation with Facts. So, welcome back, Facts. We're having a conversation still with Whenever's Joe here for a moment. Let me try to give you some advice, brother.
Okay.
The best thing to now, this may not fix everything, okay? But the best thing to do is never reply or acknowledge or give any energy back towards any of the stuff that you witness or see, whether it comes through a text message or an email or a comment on one of your videos or anything. If you do anything, the only thing you should do is block it. Don't even read it. If you see something and you say, "Oh, I know what this is," you immediately cover your eyes. Whatever you need to do, do not allow it to enter your mind, because that's what they're trying to do: is get in your head and mess with your life. Okay, so don't read it. Don't respond to it. Don't reply in any way. Don't mention them. Don't say like from this point on. I would advise you to not say I'm targeted or I'm being this is happening to me. These guys are coming after you. I'm being gang stalked, because what it does, if they hear it or see it, it gives them motivation, because they know they're having some effect, because they obviously are, because you're admitting it. So therefore, don't admit it anymore, is what my advice would be. Now, I understand that your YouTube channel is kind of centered around that. And so what I would do is, you can, if you wanted to keep doing videos centered around that kind of stuff, is don't make it about you. Make it about everyone else. But for you, you have to change the words coming out of your mouth, because when you say, I'm targeted, I'm gang stalked, I'm this, what you're doing is you're allowing them, you're giving power to it. What you have to do is either one, don't speak it at all, or two, flip the script on them and say you're targeting them, you're gang stalking them, but don't say that in public. I'm just saying to yourself and stuff. Don't allow your tongue to cut you. Okay, your tongue is a double-sided sword. And it's a supernatural tool. It's a gift that God gave us that has more power than most of us will ever know. Your tongue can cut other people. This is why it's called cursing. Like when you curse somebody out, you're using it. You're using your supernatural ability to use black magic to curse somebody. Like I've said it before. Like if you tell a little girl, you hear her singing and you say, "You suck." If she takes that in to her and hears you and listens or believes you, then she does suck to her. And she'll never sing again the rest of her life, even if she had a beautiful voice. So if you do that, you've then cut that person with your tongue. You can also cut supernatural spirits with your tongue. You can speak words to rebuke things and to bind things and to uh, make things go away from you by speaking against it. But don't ever allow your tongue to just cut your own self, because I'm trying to give you examples of both ways. It's how it works. Like if I was to say, I can't take this anymore, they're doing this, and I'm getting comments all the time, and go on my video and say, you see this comment? I don't like you. You shouldn't be responding. You shouldn't. If you can engage them, all it does is energize them. And another thing too, an average Joe, is mainly they can only engage you where you engage them, their system. Okay. Because I'm a YouTuber, I'm engaging them on YouTube. So therefore, they can choose to do things. And they have. Like they've terminated my YouTube channel 4 times. I'm on my 5th channel on YouTube. And they can so on YouTube they can come after you with bots and just harass the crap out of you, or they can have actual agents, provocateurs, and people coming against you. Other YouTubers, I've had it all. I mean, you can Google my name right now on YouTube and you'll find all kind of smear campaigns everywhere. It's been going on for years, but I don't acknowledge it because it doesn't bother me anymore. I've let it go. It is what it is. And I'm going to do, and I'm going to be successful at what I'm doing, no matter what they do, because I'm not going to play their game. I'm going to play my game. So I hope that helps you maybe somehow, or helps somebody listening at least. So
I
any
appreciate the words and thank you for sharing those words. I thank you very much. And I will take some of those to heart, because some of those things that you mentioned I'm already doing and practicing, but there's some things that you mentioned that I need to work on more
yeah,
on myself. So thank you for bringing that to
tongue
my
is an
attention.
important one. That tongue is an important one. Our speech is an invisible, supernatural, what can be a weapon. It's just, where do we use it, and how do we use it, and can we cut ourselves with it? The tongue is a supernatural, invisible. It's just as supernatural. Our voices are just as supernatural as the angels we're talking about. Um, and that might be hard to understand for some people, but it is. So, what's happening, Chris? I see you. Oops. What's happening, Facts?
Oh, not much. I was just thinking what you said last time about the tongue being a double-edged sword. It can guide you one way, or it can cut you down the other way. And I've heard it
Mhm.
also said that it's like the rudder to the ship. It can sail you away from trouble, but it can sail you into trouble. For
Mhm.
example, I've been feeling really under the weather lately, and every time I've engaged, like admitted it, that I feel run down, tired, achy, then I do feel that. And then when I rebuke it and say, no, do you know what? like, I'm going to feel okay today. I'm going to give it my best today. I didn't feel like run down and achy and the rest of it. So it's just an experience. Like, what have anyone got to lose? Try it. Just try guiding the tongue in the right direction.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, just so you know, you are now authorized to have your camera on when and if you choose, whenever you want to. Okay.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also, it's not easy as well. What you were saying about in the comments, you know, anyone can get triggered. When I first come onto the internet, I was no embarrassment about saying it. I was cyberbullied. I was doxxed. I trusted people. I gave out my information, and
Yeah.
like you said, smear campaigns. They got photos of my family and put, you know, done horrible things, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, so it's okay to say it, but internally, it does affect anyone, because it's, you know, it's all quite new, this technology stuff. It's like,
It's psychological warfare, so we have to shield our eyes and especially our mind from it, because you know who you are, you know what you've done or haven't done, and therefore you know that, one, we have a protection as well, our Father in heaven. If I wasn't protected, I'd already be done, you know. So what am I trying to say? You just I've lost my train of thought. You just have to let
yeah,
it just grow through it and keep going, and don't allow it into your mind is the biggest thing. Don't read it. You want to, but you can't, because no matter even if you read it, the only thing can come out of it is it can hurt you. There can be no good coming out of it. You're not going to get a message from somebody saying, I'm coming to your house tonight. I'm going to kick down the front door and I'm coming in to get you. That it's not going to work like that, you know. So you're not looking for that warning, you know, because all you're going to get is a bunch of harassment. They're not coming to the house. They're not going to kick the door down. And if they do, all have our angels that are there that will protect and will not allow these things to take place.
it's true. It's like what Rocky was saying the other day about just having that bubble of protection around you, and it's okay to ask the Almighty Creator for that care and protection and guidance. But
Yep.
someone also said it's not what you put in your mouth to feed your stomach; it's what you put in your ears that feeds your brain and soul and heart.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that is very true for sure. Well, we have another guest here as well, Chris. We'll check in with him. An average Joe, just so you know, you have authority to have your camera on or off whenever you want to as well. And just, I'm trusting pretty quick. I'd like to think that neither one of you that are speaking the words that I'm hearing would ever do something silly and be a donkey. So, but anyways, I want to say hi to Chris. Max is here with us as well. And of course, Max has got his camera on. I know Max. So he's welcome to speak as well. And would y'all guys like to hear the story about the donkey? Is that yeah? No? Okay, I'm going to tell it to you anyways. All right. I say don't. There's a couple things I say. Sometimes I say don't argue with donkeys. And I refer to don't allow donkeys on the show, this kind of thing. So let me tell you a little, you might call it a joke or a story. Okay. There was a little fantasy joke kind of thing. There was this donkey and a tiger and a lion in the jungle. And the tiger and the donkey were talking, and the donkey said, the grass is blue. And the tiger said, the grass is green. And the donkey said, "Hee-haw, the grass is blue. Hee-haw." He's just pitching a fit, getting mad, right? And the tiger said, "Man, are you an idiot? The grass is clearly green. Always was, always will be. Hee-haw, the grass is blue. Hee-haw, the grass is blue." And they argued and they argued and they argued. And one day, because they kept arguing about it, they said, "We're going to take this to the lion, the king of the jungle, for him to decide who's right, if the grass is green or if the grass is truly blue or not." So they go and they go before the king, the lion, and the lion's like, "What do you come before me here today for?" And the tiger said, "This donkey keeps telling me that the grass is blue when it's obviously green. And no matter how much I show him and prove to him it's green, he still keeps honking and telling me that it's blue." Says, "Okay, and what do you have to say about this donkey?" The lion said. And the donkey said, "Honk! The grass is blue." So the lion said, "All right, I'm ready to judge." So what he did, the lion said, "Tiger, you were banned from speaking for 1 year." And the tiger said, "But sir, the grass is green." The lion said, "Yes, I know the grass is green, but you're being penalized for arguing with a donkey. You're never supposed to argue with a donkey, because no matter what, they're going to defend their position, even if it's completely ludicrous. So you two go in peace, and Tiger, you don't talk to the donkey for a year." And that ultimately will solve the problem. You don't argue or talk with donkeys or stalkers or anyone like that. You ignore donkeys. Make sense to anyone?
Yeah, that made sense. Oh wow,
Absolutely.
that blew me away.
Don't
Yeah, there's
call jackasses. Stay away from jackasses.
yeah,
Don't throw your pearls of great price before swine.
yeah.
Keep
You
in
want me
mind,
to?
You know, that actually reminds me a lot of the story too, of the scorpion taking a ride on the frog across the river.
oh,
Uh,
that's a good one.
I don't know if I've heard that one or not.
Tell it.
Yeah,
Which one?
I'll try not to butcher it. I'll try to do my best. So basically, the scorpion needed to get across the river, and the frog, said, "Hey, I'll give you a ride, but you have to promise not to sting me, okay?" And the scorpion says, "Oh, of course, no, I won't." But as they were like midway across the river, the scorpion went ahead and stung the frog, right? And so now they're both gonna die and drown. And but before that happens, the frog asks the scorpion, "Well, why did you sting me?" And the scorpion says, "It's because it's in my nature. I'm a scorpion." And they got poison.
and they both ended up drowning. Yeah,
Hmm.
that reminds me of a story I recently heard someone in politics say. The story of the snake. The lady went out and she seen a beautiful snake sitting on the side, and it was cold outside and it was frozen everywhere, and the snake was almost dead. The beautiful lady took the snake and took him inside to warm him up, to get him well and to get him better, and to put him by the fire so that he could warm up. And well, the snake warmed up, and the lady took care of him, gave him food, gave him water, talked to him, And there come a day when the snake bit the lady. And the lady said, "My goodness, why have you bitten me? Now I'm going to die." And the snake said, "You do damn well I was a snake when you took me in." Let y'all figure out who it was that told that story and then pretended like they were talking about the immigrants.
He would be a McLeod. That would be a McLeod. But his matriarchal side would be the McLeods.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I've got a little story about it's a true story about the DeBurgh brothers, the diamond company that make diamonds for like engagement rings. There were two brothers called the DeBurgh brothers, and they bought a house. I don't know if you heard it.
No.
Anyway, okay, so they bought a house and they invested all the money they had to start mining for diamonds, and they listened to everyone else, their neighbours, like everyone that they've never met, to invest, to go mining out further, to dig deeper, to go, even further, look for these diamonds. And they never found them, and it drove them mad, and they died. Just before they died, they sold their property where they lived to a man called I can't remember his name, but he out of honor of the DeBurgh brothers, that's why it's called DeBurgh Diamonds. He literally dug on that ground, and underneath that ground, it was full of diamonds. And the moral of the story is, it's within you. It's not outside of you. It's not what people say around you. It's what's coming from within you. And out of honor and respect for the two brothers that died and went crazy looking for these diamonds everywhere, apart from, they were right under their feet. And yeah, you can look that up. That's a true story. And that's why the DeBurgh diamonds are called the DeBurgh diamonds.
Wow.
We call them De Beers over here. De Beers diamond.
Yeah, a little different.
We're supposed to spend 3 months of our salary on a engagement ring. And diamonds are some of the most plentiful crystals you can find on Earth.
Yeah, rubies I think are actually more rare ones. The diamonds, they've got so many of those things. It's insane that they've got. It's only the only ones they still really look for. They'll pick up the other ones, but the only ones they still look for are the really huge ones because they use them in some of their technology that they're building and stuff.
Where I live, where I sit right now, the largest ruby and emerald that I know of has been found up in this gorge. There's no diamonds and there's no gold in this gorge, but there's rubies and emeralds.
Really?
Pretty cool. Yeah, I've been looking into how to find them, and I'm gonna start when I get healthy and get rebuilt from the flood. I'm gonna start. Well, I fish a lot, so I might as well, while I'm fishing, I can look around and see if I see a vein here or there while I'm going.
Get you something and do some panning too. You've got a nice place there, probably some panning.
Yep. Oh yeah, see, at the bottom of rapids, and I have rapids right there. Not only that, at a beaver's dam, and I have a beaver pond 500 yards out my back door.
Chris, fishing is my favourite thing on earth to do. Like, what do you fish for? What sort of species of fish do you have to fish for?
Lake James is known for white bass, Bodie bass.
Yes.
The Linville River and walleye, which is a pike, and then the Linville River is known for trout and smallmouth. I can catch a smallmouth. I can catch enough smallmouth bass. I can catch 2 of those to feed myself every day, easily within 30 minutes. Wow. Easily. I have deer in my side yard every morning.
So you got food and maybe money laying in the water right out there by you.
And spring water.
And drinkable spring water too. Oh my gosh, you got all 3 there.
You can literally drink out of the river. Has it been raining? because it's pure spring water coming off of Beach Mountain. I'm 11 miles downstream from some major waterfalls, and that gorge, it's a mile high and not very wide, so it's real steep. And with that water coming through here all these years, this hundreds, thousands of years, whatever, it's literally created its own
purification.
It's a different atmosphere here. If I can dig, well, I do. I have a hand dug well that was here when I bought it. That was hand dug. You can see where they took a shovel and hung somebody upside down, and they dug about 20 feet deep, and then made a dip in there, and the river runs by. I can use a dip bucket and pull spring water out of that.
See, Chris, that's the sort of merchandise that would be like so valuable and so great for humanity and everyone. It'd be so healthy for someone to just have one taste of that. You know,
yeah, well, it's literally why they're trying. I truly believe it's why they're trying to drive us off of these waters. We all know that this was a geo. You know, the engineers, they put this on. Yeah. So but I'm not leaving. No, you're not getting my land. I got 3 acres of pristine, and see, it's blue granite too. So as that silt comes down, about every 3 years, I get about 6 inches of rain or river in my yard. But I don't mind that. I mean, 6 inches, not bad.
You know that silt that's in your yard, Chris? I bet that is probably full of.
It's pure nitrogen. It is pure fertilizer. I got some of those fertile land, spring water, all kinds of health. And you talk about Bigfoot. My neighbors, they live with Bigfoot, and they're about 700 yards up that hill right there. Oh,
what do you mean?
Oh, yeah. There's a whole family of
they're in the woods
people right there. Oh yeah, I've never heard of them. They have, and I mean, Fontaflora, that would be a word to look up. Let's see. Anyway, Linville and Bigfoot, and you'll see they run a whole operation about Bigfoot next door. They sure do. And I've talked to them. They said, "Oh yeah, Bubba." They said that they are sweet as they can be, nicest people you ever want to be.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
In fact,
I mean, these people have been here a long time. I've had the house 44 years, and they were here before I got here. Now, Daniel, did you get my text? I sent you some pictures.
No, I haven't. Depends on when you send them. No, I haven't.
It would be to the one that we talk on. That
yeah. No, I haven't seen. I'll check them and get off the show here.
Yeah, but no, I would love for you to pull them up now. I want to show you something. If you could, yeah. Wait till you see this, y'all. Talk about seeing an angel. I've told Daniel this.
I don't know. I don't know that I can bring them on the show.
That's okay.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't.
Right. Now, Daniel can describe it. It was a purple and green, fabulously beautiful angel. That was a weird experience. Trust me, that was out of this world. The lady I was with was totally fearful, whereas I was washed in motherly love and total contentment. She went crazy. She lost it. She actually.
You're breaking up quite a bit, Chris.
And then that same angel. See, that always happens. Let me turn my. Watch this. This will help.
Yes, that's
now
better.
Maybe I'll come to it.
That might work a little bit better.
Yeah, that'll save some of my bandwidth. See, down here, they won't even give me decent bandwidth down here because they don't want me here. Tough luck, I'm staying. But the same angel appeared about a week later as I watched a green orb planet rise with our sun that morning. And I was called to see that. I wish Daniel could pull up these pictures. I've also witnessed, now get this, you know how those, back in the day, trails behind a plane were pretty short. Now they're real long. I watched one of those trails wafting And as it went past the sun, it cast a shadow upwards and away from my perspective onto a medium above and went by. And you know how a shadow will catch up to the end, and then once it goes past, it starts getting faster, going away. Yeah, yeah. 27 times I've witnessed this, y'all. So if you think that white thing in the sun is our yellow sun, you're wrong. It is a manufactured simulator, and they use positive ionization of
I remember when I was in Bournemouth once, Daniel, and I was in a place called Bournemouth. It's like on the southeast coast of the United Kingdom. It's right by the sea and the cliffs, and they'd sprayed all that stuff across the sun. I recorded it. I'd said, in the name of the Almighty Creator, Sun, show me your power. Like, shine through. I want to feel you. I want to connect with you. And it just literally just obliterated these white trails, and the sun got it on camera. It's only like a 2-minute video, but I don't know. I've had some amazing things happen to me, like regarding angels, and just, I call it experiences, not a belief. Like, it's like my experiences. I don't like to say the word gods, because I think they've sort of like weaponized it a bit. But I can jive with it, but I love the word Almighty.
I use the word creator and father typically. Most time it's father. Because I know something created all this ain't all by chance, that kind of thing. Hey, facts. Where are you? What country are you in?
United Kingdom. I'm in South London. In London, like the United Kingdom, like Kent, really, like the Kent countryside. They call it God's back garden, because it's very like fertile and rural and green, and a lot of open spaces, and the sea. It's got the channel that goes out. It's like one of the shipping lanes. It's quite a nice place to live. But at the moment, I've moved a bit in town, unfortunately, because the rent prices went up. I've had to move back into one of the cities, like in the middle of the UK, where things are a little bit cheaper, just till I get my money up again and I can move back out, because it's a lot of pressure living in these cities. Like, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, I can relate for sure. Let's see here. Let's see if there was I don't know if y'all guys have seen these videos before. Did y'all guys, you and Unaverage Joe, have y'all guys seen the videos of the angel or the orb taking down a drone?
I've seen clips of it, but I've
Have you seen it done, where you can actually see it like I do things?
No, not like that. No, I just saw like on another content creator's channel, like they got it off TikTok, and it was very short, like 3 seconds long. You couldn't really see what was.
I got a better version of it here. You want to check it out?
Please, yeah.
Okay, here we go. That's pretty much it there. Um, if you notice when you watch it, the orb does not move. It actually is sitting in one spot, and the drone, the flashing object, of course, approaches, comes in really quick, and then starts kind of sitting there for a little bit, and then it goes over, and when it touches, it's over, drops it out of the sky. So I just find that one kind of fantastic. I've got one more to show y'all guys too. That's in case some of you guys haven't seen it, and that is, and actually I just found another one like this. Is in Israel where they're using the Iron Dome, and they're shooting the rockets that are coming in out of the sky. I ran across a video a while back, and I just found another one today where it appears like there's an orb set in the sky, and the rockets are coming in like it's either going after it or going to go fly past it or whatever. And the missiles that are coming towards it, you can see them, and they like literally are stopped in midair. It stops them in midair and then blows them up. It blows up two of them, and it's like some kind of intervention thing, you know. And I find it really interesting. Anyways, here I'll show y'all guys. The question begs, like, what I'm seeing there is that, okay, they got Iron Dome, and maybe they have rockets that can hover in one spot, but that can't somehow stop other rockets in midair and then go over and blow them up. That's the part that gets me is that it's the rockets are coming and they like go and they stop, and then this moves and blows them up and then flies off. And I've seen angels streak just like that before, and so hope y'all guys enjoyed that and give you something to think about. Anyways, any other?
Just let me mention something real quick, and I'm not giving this guy a plug, but I am just mentioning as far as there's this other individual that I follow on YouTube, and he's been exposing a lot of information that has to do with the disappearance of the Malaysian flight MH370. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you might want to check him out because this guy's got some interesting videos as far as what he talks about and the actual people that he brings on to speak, regarding the technology that was involved with his name is Ashton Forbes.
Is that the name of his channel?
Yeah, I mean, or if you just put in Ashton Forbes, you'll pull him up right away.
Ashton.
He wears glasses. He calls his channel like the MH370X group or something like that.
Yep, I see him here. Okay. Yeah, I'll.
And well, basically, the main thing I want to get at is, I mean, just seeing that footage right there, that made me think immediately of some of the technology that's capable or the capable technologies that the U.S. government does possess, and probably the Israeli government as well. Um,
Yeah, they've got
yeah, I'm not gonna say there's no such thing as angels and demons because I know there is. You know what I'm saying? But I just wouldn't be so quick to say that that one in particular would be angels. That really makes me feel like that's technology,
it,
personally.
it could be that because not one of these videos did I take, so I can't vouch 100% for them. It's just I find it very interesting, and
Oh, for sure.
there's a lot of AI videos out there that show you all kind of crazy stuff, and I try to stay away from that because I'm not looking for fantastic. I'm seeking truth, like y'all guys are, So, but yeah, well, I'll definitely check Ashton out. And yeah, you're right. They've got technology that is insane. They've got stuff that I've got one. Matter of fact, I don't think I ain't got it ready yet. I've got one that I'm going to release by tomorrow for sure. It's a video that it looks like, because again, I wasn't there. It looks like 3 orbs appear in the sky and they're sitting there. And 2 orbs. And the one down below, all of these additional, what looks like orbs, are coming out of the one light orb. Okay. And they're dropping down, which I've seen this before with my own eyes. So it's like, okay, I've seen that. That's why I like the fact that I have seen so many. I have seen with my own eyes, that I know the attributes of at least some of their behaviors, or what, okay, that looks like an attribute of an angel that I've seen do that before with my own eyes. But anyways, one's up above, one's down below, and there's orbs dropping out of one below. And I don't know exactly what's going on there. But then all of a sudden, it looks like a lightning strike comes in and hits one of the orbs. And there's just sparks fly everywhere. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe what I'm seeing exactly, other than that. It just looks like, it's almost like, well, I'll just say it. Like, I'm wondering if there's some kind of war in the heavens going on. This interdimensional thing clashing with man-made technology. Maybe. I don't know for sure if that's what's happening. But that video, along with the one I played a while ago, it shows like a clash going on. And I'm not sure there either, because again, I wasn't there. But I'll put that video up by tomorrow so you guys can see what I'm talking about, though. I'm just butchering.
Well, with what you just said there, that made me think of the text, the Bhagavad Gita, right, where they talk about the Vimanas flying and having battles in the heavens too.
Yeah, explain that a little bit more if you would.
So that's from I only know just a brief touch up on that. It's like from the Indian culture, right, where the Hindus, their ancient texts, the Bhagavad Gita or something like that, and they talk about how they had ancient flying craft in their days, and actually their whatever the technology that was involved with it was like anti-gravity basically.
And we definitely
they had wars in the heavens, and oh yeah, no doubt, there's no doubt. I mean, once you see Ashton Forbes, you'll see that he's and the people that he's talking to, some of these scientists, some of them are even clearly under NDAs. There's some things that they can't talk about, but there's some things that they can, and it's really trippy, man. I mean, just the technology we have, and it's real. Let's just put it that way. It's real.
Most people have seen or heard of TR3Bs. Me and Miss Kim seen one night. We literally seen one. I got out. We seen these weird lights in the sky. It was about 10 o'clock at night, and we're cruising along, and it's like, what is that, a cell tower? And as we got closer and closer and closer, it was sitting still, but it wasn't a cell tower. It was 3 lights in the shape of a triangle in the sky. It was probably about, I don't know, a couple of 100 feet above the trees. And we jumped out at a store in the parking lot and I'm looking at it, and I got my camera, and I go to try to record, and my battery just goes zop, dead, and it wouldn't record. And I'm looking at it, and it's sitting there, and then it rotates 360 degrees and starts going back down this road that we just came up, back down that direction. So we jump in the car, go down, run down and get in front of it because it wasn't moving that fast. We get in front of it and pull into this gas station up down there where there's a big field in front of me where I've got real good horizon perception. And it should be coming straight at me. And I'm like, I wonder if it's going to come here. And here it comes. That sucker's sailing straight at me. You could see all three lights on all three corners. It was as big as a football field, dead solid, and was only moving about 15 miles an hour. And right as because I'm standing recording because I got her camera to work. And I'm standing recording, and right as it come across the trees, probably about a football field from me, it just turns like that. It don't lean. There's no noise. It just turns like it's on rails and just sails 9 degrees in the other direction at only about 15, 20 miles an hour. Seen it with my own eyes. I wouldn't believe it. I'd heard about them before. I'd never seen one. My brother claimed he'd seen one up there almost in that same area within 5 miles. And I was like, wow, really? And then that night we were coming from his house and ran across and seen that one. And you couldn't see it that great in the video. All you could see was the not blinking lights. There were solid lights. All you could see were the solid lights on the corners. But I did get to see one. And so I know they're real. They got these giant triangle crafts that are huge, dead solid. Amazing stuff. Crazy technology that we've got. All right, we're going to get ready to wrap up here. Any final thoughts for y'all guys? Anybody?
Just as you were speaking there, it just reminded me of like the blimps from the Second World War. They've learned how to manipulate gases like helium or something, and those ships are like a scaled down version of them with different materials that they've somehow managed to manipulate, and then it's lighter than gravity, like something along them lines. It just come to me as you were saying it. I just thought.
Well, actually, facts. I would propose that the actual answer may be in your icon. The toroidal donut you have as your icon looks like a spider web.
Okay.
See, as I mentioned earlier, what they do is they study nature in order to develop technology. If you have the knowledge of what a tornado has the ability to do, a supercell storm that is a torus that's spinning, and it produces a tornado that comes down. What a tornado, and you can look this right up online, it's an accepted scientific fact. A tornado has the ability to manipulate and create its own gravitational area. So when you see like cows or trucks or a semi truck or train getting lifted up and floating through the air, it isn't because of the wind. The direction it's going is because of the wind, but the actual lifting and floating is actually based on the fact that a toroidal field, a tornado within a supercell storm, creates its own gravitational field. When that funnel comes down and is spinning, it creates such an energy force that it overrides the gravitational field that the cow or the truck or the train is in, and it makes it weightless basically. And so it can just pick it up and blow it that way with rather ease. And like I said, anybody can look that up. That actually what I'm talking about now. I could be wrong about what we're saying here, but I wonder if that isn't what actually is going on, is that with those crafts, they've engineered some kind of a device in the very center of the craft that creates its own gravitational environment. It's got energy spinning in it. Like, you know how we have these things that vibrate in our cell phones?
Yes.
It's spinning. Okay. It'd be similar to that, but on a larger basis, and it would be probably nuclear or something. I don't know. You know, I just can see that and know that they copy nature. And so the technology will come from nature somehow. And it could be what you're talking about. But I just wanted to throw that in there too.
So, have you seen that video, Daniel, of the guy that he studied the beetles and where their weight was heavier than their wings? He wondered how they could like fly,
Yeah.
and then he took all the beetles' wings and he made something out of it, and he was like flying it around.
Yeah, a little for him.
Yes, yeah.
Probably about 10 years ago, I went down a rabbit hole with that guy. And yeah, that's some fascinating story and information. It's like the actual fly, like a house fly. A house fly doesn't fly. A house fly has these triangle shaped little scales on him. And when he gets ready to fly, he vibrates those scales at a frequency which then makes him weightless. So then his wings can easily sail him in any direction he wants to go because he's completely weightless. And so his wings are like they're flying on their own and there's no cargo. But if you look into that, you can find out they have these little triangle shaped, like armor looking plates, almost like a dragon. Oh, man.
It makes sense what you said about my icon now. You can see it. They're like honeycombs, and if you put them in the right sequence, it's got what we was just talking on.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, you can look up stuff about the flies and certain different kinds of insects. That I think that there's something going on there that's enhancing their ability to fly. Take for instance a dragonfly. What it made me think of, I had this spark of a moment of a thought because I said it's kind of like the scales of a dragon. What if? Let's play fantasy for a second. Let's pretend that dragons existed at one time, and there may be some evidence of that. But let's pretend that they existed. What if? Because it doesn't make any sense when you think about their size compared to their wings and what they were claimed to have, and a weight and lift problem and all these kind of things. But what if they had these kind of things on them, like these scales that vibrated and affected their gravitational environment right around them and made them weightless? Then their wings could easily send them in any direction they wanted to go.
Okay, can I interject one thing?
Yeah.
Bees do not fly. Bees do not fly. They are moved through the air from the vibration of the wings. It's the buzz, the hum that you hear is actually what moves them through the air. They do not fly. Their wings do not perpetuate their flight. But
do they have scales on them like a fly or some other insects?
They actually make an internal humming noise. That bzzz you hear, that's an internal humming noise. It's like a homing beacon for their nest. They all have their own frequency.
And we all know the fly makes that noise too, but his wings are so thin and so small. How is a fly making any noise?
Those are just for guidance, basically.
Yeah, that's
the rudders in a boat.
So see, if you study that, let's invent some technology, right? Based on these observations that we're making right here about some things, you can then build that using technology, and it's called magic.
It's only magic until you learn how the science works behind it.
Right.
But just for everybody, but since we're talking about dragons, go look up the skeletal structure of a T-Rex dinosaur and an ostrich and tell me what you see. And I'll leave that up to everybody else.
Right. Okay. That's interesting.
Just as you were saying that, Rox, about the bees, that like they come out of honeycombs, don't they? They live in a honeycomb.
Yeah.
Like, say, like, it's like, I believe, like the Fibonacci sequence is like just a posh word of saying those numbers. Yeah. Maybe that's something to do with what Daniel's saying about getting the equilibrium, so you get like a balance, like no like lost for the big words. I don't know the long words. Where you go. Gravity doesn't exist when you've got the vibration, the shapes, and everything. It all comes together. And Daniel's saying that they've studied it, reverse engineered it, and put a lot of money and technology into it. And hence those crafts you described at the beginning.
Yeah.
Anything that is made of energy, whether it be plant, animal, human, insect, has an energy, a vibrational sequence. And this is a lot of when you walk into a room and you're like, ooh, that guy gave me a bad feeling or whatever. Everybody has their own vibrational frequency, and that's a lot of what you feel. And some insects, the smaller ones with thin wings, their, I guess you'd say, flight movement is more based on a frequency that they resonate from the humming sound. That frequency is part of what gives you your honeycomb shape in their honeycomb. And even if you take their honey and you put it in a jar and you spin it, it will always go back to the honeycomb shape.
Wow, Roxy.
So adding on to that, if most of you are probably familiar with the cubes that are around the world that are like in Mecca where they worship a cube, and in at the Vatican there's a large cube, and in New York City a large cube, and these cubes all around the world. What it is if you take a piece of honeycomb and you put a light behind it, you will see that actually you've got the hexagon on one side and a hexagon on the other side, and they create a three-dimensional cube is actually what you're seeing. So what it is this knowledge that comes from the earth is so great and has given them so much advantage in technology that they are worshiping that technology. They're worshiping the knowledge that they gained out of the earth. They're worshiping. They call it pagan religion, which is the worship generally, not like I'm an expert on it, but they worship generally the earth and the frequencies and the things to do with the earth that can be learned and there's magical things. They like to use the word magic a lot. That can be done with this knowledge, this cube knowledge. That's why we see it everywhere, plus more, I'm sure, but that's part of it, I think. So,
well, you'll see a lot of things. I think people are becoming more aware of what magnetic and vibrational frequencies are. If you know what the Schumann resonance is, if you don't, go look it up. The earth itself has a level that it gives, and it goes up and down. And there are quite a few people who have been testing the theory that a particular time of day, people all across the world get together and think good thoughts and say good prayers to see if they can change it. And we've watched it changed.
oh, hey, Vax. What's happening? Good to see you.
Yeah,
you are now well authorized to be a guest. In fact, we're going to be doing an international panel here very soon. I think you might have heard about that, and I'd hope that you would join us that day. I'll try to make sure to get you a message. Matter of fact,
my email in the back chat or something.
This phone number, if you could send me a text at that number, I can put it in the private chat too if you want me to. But I don't know if I can get your text or message or not from the UK. I'm wondering. Worst case scenario, we could use email or something. But the shows are normally going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 2:00, or as close to we can make it 2:00. That kind of thing, because we're small crew.
I think Shannon and I are going to try to start doing something on Tuesday and Thursday. That way there's something 5 days a week.
Yeah, we're going to be expanding, and we're going to be looking for people who are trustworthy people that would like to have their own show under the Supernatural Show brand. And there would be benefits for both sides. For the person doing their own show under my brand, through my studio, using my tools, and all the tools I built and the things that I'll build for them, like their own intros, their own things. I allow you to have your own links where people can give you your own tips, things like that, plus much more. We're going to be looking for a host or two in the coming very near future. We're going to get Roxy going and get Shannon going on their own standalone shows. And then we'll be rolling 5 days a week. And then shortly thereafter, we'll either roll to 7 days a week with a couple of new hosts, or either we'll keep it at 5 and then pull in some more time slots. But yeah, so we're trying to expand and grow and get the truth more out there on a 7 day a week basis, 24 hours a day, if I could pull it off. But it, you know, we can try. All right, so let me see. There was a thought I wanted to share before we went. Okay. So a lot of what we've been talking about, and especially the last 30 minutes, we've been talking about a lot of things that have to do with frequency, that vibration, that humming sound, the hummingbird, the bee sound, and all these things. It's about frequency. It's producing a certain frequency, changes the environment around whatever it is, and allows it to fly. Okay, allows it to do magical things or special things. This is part of what I'm talking to you about when it comes to the voice. Okay, the elites of this world, they're aware of it, and this is why they go in these big churches with the big flowers, you might say, in the windows, or the images of the Taurus, the flower of life and stuff in the big Catholic churches. It's telling you the frequency that exists within that church. And you notice how they like to get together and harmonize together, do all these things. They're messing with that kind of stuff, I think. And they know about the sword of the tongue. So with that, I'm going to leave that as it for today. And hey, Fax, man, it's really nice meeting you, bro.
Likewise, brother. Thank you for letting me be on the show. I really appreciate it.
Shannon, I got his email address.
It sounds like we got your email address too.
Cool.
All right, so we'll be in touch, and if we can, I wouldn't mind giving you my. I can put it in the private chat. You'll be able to see it in the private chat, and you can attempt it. This is my private cell phone number. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
And I'm looking for anybody that was in the gifted and talented educational program in elementary school. That's what I'm going to be looking for. Hopefully Shannon and I are putting a show together with a little more history on what this program started from and evolved to, and where it may possibly still be today.
Do you have a proper number they could text you at that wouldn't give away your?
On Monday's show, I'll drop all the stuff in chat. We're going to get it all lined up. That way people can reach out to us, and maybe Thursday afternoon, kind of have an open panel and some discussion. So,
yeah, I was referring to Roxy Fax.
Oh, sorry.
But I've got I see your number there now too as well. Yeah. So we'll attempt to communicate by cell phone, but sometimes some countries it don't work, but we'll give it a shot. And in front of my phone number, you would need a 1. That's the international code for the United States is a 1. With that being said, guys, we are going to go ahead and get out of here for today. We're over 2 hours in, and the sun is literally baking me on my back and my lower legs right now. I've got to get this blacked out thing. I'm going to get a big red curtain, kind of like the Beyond the Veil curtain thing that I have sometimes. But I appreciate everybody being here. Thank you, Roxy. Thank you, Max, for dropping by. I don't know what happened to you, brother. And thank you, Fax, for being in the house. And thanks to the other gentleman that was here. I'm trying to remember his. What was it was something other Joe, not average Joe. What was it?
That's correct. Yeah, not average Joe. Yeah.
Not average Joe, something like that. So thank you, brother, for being here too, if you're still listening. So with that, I love you guys, and we'll see you Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and soon 5 days a week. But for now, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I love you. Talk to you again soon.
Bye, everybody.
And you love you too. Bye now.
Bye.
Thanks.